Hello, my name is Dr. Beibei Du-Harpur. I am a dermatology doctor based in London in the UK, and you can find me on Instagram at Dermatology Demystified. I'm also currently doing a PhD, so I share lots of science-based skin information and my musings on skincare. So I had a baby 4 months ago, so my skincare routine is time efficient, let's say, because it's always a bit of a rush to get myself into a fit state and out of the door in the mornings, because my baby loves a morning walk. I'm sure lots of other babies do as well. So everything is quick. So just to give you a little bit of background about myself and my skin, I'm 32 years old, I'm Chinese, so I have pigmented skin, but I have never really suffered with major acne or rosacea or melasma or particularly sensitive skin. So I've never been on any medications or needed any prescription products for my skin. My skin type is normal to dry. So in the summer, I don't really need to moisturize a great deal, but come winter, I really do need to lather it on. The cold weather really affects my skin a lot, and especially at the moment because I am taking my baby for lots of walks outside. I think the cold air has really affected my skin more so this year than any other time. I also wonder whether it's a postpartum phenomenon, just that my skin's like drier than it used to be. So I have found that, my skin has got really dry this winter, and I've had to slightly mix up my skincare routine to try and address that. So because my skin is so dry at the moment, I am only washing my face with water in the morning. Occasionally I will use a cleanser, more so in the summer than in the winter, or if I wake up and I've had a particularly sweaty night for whatever reason. And if I was to use a cleanser, my favorite cleanser, and one that I've repurchased many times, is this one by Dr. Sam Bunting, who is a doctor based in the UK. This is Dr. Sam's Flawless Cleanser. It comes in a nice pump, which is always very convenient. This is the consistency of the cleanser. It sort of has a really nice, like, jelly sort of texture. I'm just going to, for the purpose of demonstration, show you what it looks like on my face. I do not usually use like a huge quantity of cleanser. If in the morning, if I'm cleansing at all, I just use like a tiny amount. So Dr. Sam usually recommends like 1 pump in the morning and 2 pumps in the evening. I think you just kind of have to figure it out for yourself how much you like to use and what suits your skin. But what I like about this cleanser is the consistency. So it's just got this really nice, smooth texture. It feels really luxurious on the skin. It doesn't have fragrance. I'm not anti-fragrance, as you'll see later in my routine, but I do actually like this unfragranced smell, strangely. I like my products to have this kind of weird medicinal kind of smell. I mean, it's not medicinal smelling, but it doesn't smell bad. It doesn't smell of flowers or anything either, but I like it. Just wet my hands just to emulsify it slightly, and then I go and massage my face. So just a really small amount of cleanser, otherwise I find that I just have to spend ages rinsing it off, and I feel like that's really drying for me. So my face is currently damp, and to dry my face, I pat my skin. So as you can see, I'm using a normal towel. I have a face cloth, but to be honest, I hardly ever use it, and there is always a normal towel here. The important thing is that you don't do like this, because using a towel does exfoliate your face. So I just use the towel to just take off the moisture. So my skin is not completely dry, it is slightly damp, and I go in straight away with a moisturizing product. This is the product I'm using. It's the Avène A-Oxitive Serum. They also have a water cream. As you can see, I'm rushing to get it on my face because I don't want my face to dry out. So in the summer, I was actually using the water cream morning and night as a sort of standalone product, and that's all I needed all summer, and my skin felt really great. So I bought this product because I got influenced, as you do, by social media, and it was Michelle from Lab Muffin Beauty Science who posted about it, and it was, I don't know, I was probably about 6 or 7 months pregnant, and I'd really just sort of completely stopped doing skincare for some reason at that point, other than like washing my face and moisturizing. And then I saw this post about the water cream and thought, oh, this product sounds cool. It's got a vitamin C derivative, ascorbyl glucoside, and it's also got vitamin E. And I thought it sounds like a nice product. It was at a nice price point where you don't feel like you're splurging like mad on a vitamin C, which is, a deterrent for me. So I gave it a go and I really loved it. And I actually thought my skin looked better after using it. So I am now using the serum instead, which Avène kindly sent to me to try out. I really like it. It has got fragrance in it, but I've never had a problem with this product, so I'm still using it. And it's not an overwhelming fragrance. It just smells fresh, and I guess it might be slightly floral, but it's just got a nice, pleasant sensation. And they have done a very small clinical study with it, and also an in vitro study on sort of a lab generated skin. So I'm just going to show you what the texture of the cream looks like. So I'm just going to pump some into my hand. So it's not a clear serum, it's got like a white milky sort of look to it. And this is, it's kind of very light in sensation, but it feels nice. I really like it. I think it does make my skin look brighter, but these things are all very subjective. So my next product is simply a moisturizer. Again, it is an Avène product. This one I've been using on both myself and my baby because he has dry skin. Like I said earlier in the video, I have been suffering with dry skin for the past 4 weeks, I would say, not helped by experimentation with a new retinol. Totally my own fault. And as you can see, I had a bit of a reaction as well. So I've got this little blemish. It's just a random sort of blemish that appeared out of nowhere. And I think because, maybe it's also from wearing a mask, which obviously comes right over this area. And also I wear glasses. I'm wearing contacts at the moment, but normally I wear glasses and it literally sits right here. So it is just annoying that I've got this little sort of post-inflammatory erythema there, which will become pigmentation, but to be honest, it usually fades for me pretty quickly. Anyway, so this is the Avène XeraCalm AD Lipid-Replenishing Balm. This is my second tube. I have just finished my first one, and it is for really dry skin. So I guess if you like the skincare trend of slugging, but don't really like the full-on greased Vaseline or Aquaphor or CeraVe healing ointment sensation on your face, this is a good middle ground. Let me just show you the consistency first. So this is what it looks like coming out. And the other thing about Avène products, I think they almost all come in pumps, and they are preservative free. So this is some sort of airless pump technology so that the products can't get contaminated. So this is what the cream looks like. I'm just going to smooth it out on my palms, and you can see it is really quite a greasy, balmy texture. And I would not use this in the summer, and I would not use this in a humid climate. I don't think it would be very nice in those situations. But in the winter in the UK, when you're walking outside all the time, this not only moisturizes your skin, it's got ceramides and fatty acids and things like that. It also just provides like a protective film against the cold wind and the cold air as well. So I'm gonna put it on my face now so you can see what it looks like. And obviously, because it's got this mineral oil in it, which is a really great occlusive, and it really gives your face a nice glow in the morning too, which is also, some people might not like it, but personally I do. But yeah, this is what the product looks like. I did a post about slugging because I saw, so many people write about it, and I thought it's actually quite an interesting debate whether you want a purely occlusive moisturizer such as Vaseline or Aquaphor, which is 41% petrolatum, versus a moisturizer which contains things like ceramides and niacinamide, which are sort of barrier strengthening. What I like about this product, it kind of combines both of those things. So I always put a little bit more on my cheeks. I just like the feeling. Some of my friends, whenever I suggest using like a heavier moisturizer when they have dry skin or eczema, some of them will say things like, oh, I don't feel like it's absorbing in. But often I think when people are talking about that what they're noticing is, a very light lotion disappearing after you put it on your skin. But actually, a lot of the time, that's actually the water in the product evaporating off. And you kind of want the opposite to happen if you have dry skin. You want something to be left on the surface, because that film that you have on the surface of your skin is actually helping, the skin recover and helping retain hydration. But it is important that you use hydrating ingredients as well. And a good moisturizer will combine all of these things together. So it will have ingredients in it that will do a mixture of things. So the people who are using things like pure Vaseline on their skin, they will usually put something else underneath first. And that is what I recommend if you do plan to do stuff like that. So I am now moving to the final step of my skincare routine, which is, you guessed it, sunscreen. This is the Keep Cool Soothe Bamboo Sun Essence. It is a Korean sunscreen. I love Korean and Japanese sunscreens. I first discovered that Japanese sunscreens really suited me, I think 4 or 5 years ago. My friend went on holiday to Japan and bought me the Hada Labo sunscreen, like the one that comes in like a blue pot. And I used it on holiday in the Mediterranean. Basically, I didn't tan, I didn't burn. It worked really well for me. At the time, I didn't actually know what sunscreen it was. It was just like a random cream that she gave me. She knew I was into sunscreen because I was interested in dermatology. I wasn't a dermatologist at the time. And so she recommended it to me, saying that she'd heard, Japanese skincare was really good. And then because I didn't know what it was, I couldn't actually repurchase the product, which really annoyed me. But I actually, fortuitously found it again via social media. And this product, I've been trying out some Korean sunscreens recently, and this is one that I really, really like. It just has a really nice texture. Let me show you what it looks like. I'm just gonna squeeze it onto my palm so you can see. But I think what I like about all Asian sunscreens is that they are designed to feel much more like just a normal moisturizer, and they don't have this like really greasy, heavy feel that a lot of European sunscreens have. Now, I don't mind using those sort of greasier sunscreens, especially when you're out in the sun in the summer. You kind of want them to really stick to your face, and I do wonder, especially if I'm sweating a lot, whether these ones are going to stick to my face quite as well. But, if you're mostly indoors or in the winter, I think these are fantastic. So I've put loads of sunscreen on my hand. I put some in my palm, then put some on my fingers. I've rubbed it on my fingers, so I've got loads. And then I usually try and dab it everywhere, and to make sure I get good coverage. I know that everyone's very cautious about putting products on their eyes, but to be honest, I'm not. I just put it everywhere and I've never had any problems. So I'm still doing it. So that's, I would say, is one good layer. So you can see I used quite a lot. It was, a good dollop in the middle of my palm and then 1 finger's worth, probably a bit more for my neck and chest area. So and just put some here as well. And you can still see that because I had the Avène XeraCalm has really got a very shiny, glowy kind of finish. And if you add the sunscreen on top, I don't think the sunscreen adds much glow, but anyway, I do have quite a shiny face at the moment, but I quite like that finish, to be honest. I do use a lip balm every day, sort of morning and evening, especially because of cold weather, and I use Vaseline. Every derm's favourite because it's 100% petrolatum, which is inert. I only need to use this twice a day. My lips don't get sort of more dry than that. So I just put some on my lips. And I go a little bit outside the border as well. And then whatever I have left on my hands, because I always end up digging too much out of the tube, I put on the backs of my hands because Vaseline is a really fantastic occlusive. And if you are washing your hands a lot, then you will be getting dry hands. So you can always use a bit on the backs of your hands. And that's it. So I used in total, the cleanser I did just for demonstration purposes, but essentially I just have 3 products for my face and then 1 for my lips. And most of them, apart from the sunscreen, everything came out of a pump as well, which is quite important for me because it's just easy. I think a lot of people like to spend a lot of time on their skincare routine, but many people feel like they have no time, and that actually prohibits them from starting. And I think that ease of use and ease of adherence is really, really important when it comes to skincare, because consistency is the most important thing. There we have it, and just a little close-up of my skin. You can see it is not perfect, but I'm pretty happy with it, even though I've got this stupid blemish on the side of my nose. But yeah, thank you very much for watching my skincare routine.